Welcome into this week's edition of the WCS Sports Connection. I'm your host, District Athletic Director Patrick Whitlock, and with me as always, the birthday boy, Tate Mathews.
Another year.
Hey, we're glad you're here, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Glad to be here. Feel good. Can't wait to talk some basketball, boys and girls. And also, I know we're not going to talk about it today, but good luck to all the spring sports teams. Spring sports is here. It's the month of March.
Yeah, all the spring sports teams some started last week, some officially starting this week. We're going to have a full spring sports preview when we get back after break, and we'll probably have a few games there to discuss as well. But we had a heck of a region tournament going on at Page with the quarterfinals being played Friday and Saturday, so we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
and
a
few shockers in there. But it's tournament time. It's March.
Some eyebrow raisers.
Yes, for sure. So we had two great nightcaps Saturday night with the boys tournament, but we'll get to all that in a second. But first, we got to start with the all-district teams.
Got to.
So 11-4A, girls all-district team. No surprise here. Cecily Brandamore is the district MVP. I imagine that was pretty unanimous, but just another accolade to add to her trophy.
Are you allowed to vote for your own player?
You're not.
Okay, so I would think it would be unanimous except for one.
Right. So I like the way we do it. They have a vote. You can't vote for your own player. And we only put 6 kids on the all-district team. There's honorable mention, so it is pretty prestigious. You know, some other districts choose to if you finish first, you get 3. If you finish second, you get 2, and everybody else gets 1. No handout participation trophies in Williamson County with this system.
And I agree with it. A lot of people, there are some, especially in football, where exactly what you said, and it gets a little embarrassing.
For sure. So, Coach of the Year, Nolensville Knights, Chris Ladd. I think Coach Ladd has done an unreal job this year. When you watch his team play, they are so fundamentally sound. They play together. They're connected. The veteran is getting it done this year.
Without a doubt. And, I guess he's the dean now of Wilco coaching now that you're gone, correct?
Well, in theory, he was here longer than I was. Just he kind of went back.
Different schools.
Yeah.
So he got started for you. Well, but I meant as head coach, though.
Yeah.
He was an assistant.
He was actually, maybe his first year at Page was my first year at Ravenwood. I don't know. But he
gotcha.
was. Yeah. So we're close. But nonetheless.
It seems like he's getting better the older he gets.
Yeah.
I think a big part of it is we talk about it all the time. That's a community. Those kids grow up, Mill Creek Elementary, and then Mill Creek Middle, and then Nolensville. They don't lose kids.
Yeah. Well, and had a lot of success as a boys coach.
Correct.
Goes over to the girls' side, having even more success. Already has a state tournament appearance under his belt. I think he's got a really good chance to get another one.
I do too.
Here, but we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, congratulations to Coach Ladd. All right, the rest of the first team: Nyla Johnson from Nolensville, Paige Morris from Brentwood, Josie Ladd from Nolensville, Eleanor Vogus, just a freshman from Ravenwood, and then Sarah Brakefield. So Nolensville well represented, 3 players on the first team. And then honorable mention, Molly Forrest from Franklin, Kylie White from Ravenwood, Reese Mall from Nolensville, Mercy Chapman from Centennial, Maggie Buckley from Brentwood, and Callie Whitfield from Brentwood as well. So congratulations to all those ladies. And then we get to 12-4A, girls all district. Most valuable player, Lily Espelette, the UT Martin signee from Page, takes home that honor. And her coach, Randy Kaufman, is the coach of the year. And then the rest of the first team, Mia Hoffman from Page, Riley Brooks from Indy, Bridget Ali from Summit, Maddie Zates from Independence, and then Jordan Porter from Page as well. And then Trinity Garcia from Summit, Maisie Bushman from Page, Sam Malcolm from Summit, Jordan Maddox from Page, Gentry Maddox from Page, and MJ Montgomery from Indy, all on the honorable mention side right there. So a lot of accolades to go around in Williamson County, and that leads us to what happened on Friday. A lot of good basketball. So we kicked off the day with Franklin and Indy. I think the interesting part of this game was the fact that Franklin had been swept by Indy in the regular season. So Cecily Brandamore scores 31 points, pulls in 11 rebounds. Molly Forrest, 5 points and 11 rebounds. And Franklin takes the third game over Indy, 59-48. Maddie Zates had 17 and Riley Brooks had 10 for Independence. But Franklin shot the ball extremely well. They shot 52% from the floor and 9 of 18 from 3.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, and I mean it's really been kind of the Brandon Moore and Molly Forrest show all year. They had some other players step up. Ward stepped up, and they just shot the ball extremely well. Heck of a game for the Lady Admirals as they advanced to the region semifinals for first time in a while.
Been a while.
Yeah.
Best player played lights out. Everybody else played well. 50% from the arc.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen.
No. I mean, a good college team is going to shoot 40%.
Right.
I mean, an elite college team. Typically that's 35, 38, but they come out and
it's not like they had 8 attempts. They had 18.
Right.
Yeah, played lights out.
Couldn't manipulate it there. Second game of the afternoon, Nolensville 64, Columbia 30. Josie Ladd led them with 14 points, 6 rebounds. Nyla Johnson, 13 points, 7 assists, 5 steals. Sarah Brakefield had 12 and 6 rebounds. Reese Mall, 12 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. And then Addie Harris had 9 points. 5 Knights scored at least 9 points. The interesting thing about this game is Columbia jumps out to like a 7-2 lead in the first 4 minutes. And I'm sitting here, and I had not seen Columbia play all year because I don't care. And, they had this lefty guard that steps up and knocks one down from the top of the key. I was like, man, they're better than I thought they were. Maybe this is going to be a game. And then Nolensville goes on a 31-3 run to finish the half. So they took care of business pretty quick right there. They did. I talked to Coach Ladd after the game. He said, we've been off a week. No district tournament, so it was a pretty significant layoff. He said he kind of expected a slow start, but it did not take them very long to brush off the rust there and take care of business. Dangerous team, Nolensville.
Big time.
Yeah.
So many weapons. You just read it. There's no reason to. They've just got so many weapons, and none of them are really one-dimensional players either. They all have multiple parts of their game, and yeah, they're going to be tough. That's going to be a tough out.
Yeah, Nyla Johnson is unreal.
She's fun to watch.
Well, her ability to get to the basket, and now she's shooting the ball pretty well from 3. And Josie Ladd, coach's kid, one of the most fundamental girl players for that age I've ever seen. Only a sophomore. He just makes the easy play, makes the right play.
I think within the next 2 years, we're going to be sitting in here, and you're going to have this printout, and Josie Ladd will be under most valuable player.
Yeah. You would say next year, but Nyla Johnson will be back too. Right. So you just don't know. So a lot to look forward to, and probably this year for the Knights as well. So we'll see how it plays out. Then, in one of the more intriguing games of the afternoon, the third game, Summit 57, Brentwood 50. Summit shot the ball at an unbelievable clip in this game. Bridget Ali scored 7 of her 18 in the fourth quarter, and Ava Kroll knocked down 5 threes in the first half, finished with 6 for the game. Had 18 points. Paige Morris in her last game as a Lady Bruin had 24 points, had 7 threes. The threes were flying from everywhere. Callie Whitfield had some outside shots as well, scored 12. Maggie Buckley had 9. But this is Summit's first region appearance since 21-22. Our good buddy John Wild leading the way back then, and they got a win against Franklin that year in the region, and then were knocked out by Hillsborough. But nonetheless, congrats to Coach George. Generally a big win for their program because they'd had a lull for a few years where they didn't even make the region tournament. So that's always a good step in the right direction.
Yeah, he's done a really good job with that team program, and that's an example right there of playing your best basketball at the end of the year. They've gotten better. At the beginning, it wasn't great. Right, but it's been a incline the entire year. So I believe there was an alley on the team that you were talking about with Wild that went there. That family's been good to the Lady Spartans basketball program.
And boy, she is a spark plug. She's got a lot of speed, can handle the ball really well. Additionally, Trinity Garcia, a little under the weather for this game, played very, very limited minutes. She's arguably their second or third best player. Didn't get a lot of time. So congrats to Lady Spartans there with the big win. It's been a good year for girls sports for Summit. You got state championship in volleyball, state tournament team in soccer, and now the girls basketball team advances to the region. I don't know what's going to happen in the spring.
Right. It's been too long now. Something from nothing, isn't that what they called it when they first started?
Yeah, absolutely. Digging in pretty deep here. All right. Page, 63. Ravenwood, 36 in the nightcap. Maisie Bushman, 18 points. Lily Espelette, 14. Mia Hopton, 10. And 10 Page girls got in the scorebook. Their depth is tremendous. I think the thing that stood out to me, you watch the Page girls play, they make some plays that just typical girls can't make. And what I mean by that is they can throw vertical 45-foot passes in transition. Physically, they were just too much. Ravenwood hung around for a few minutes there early. Credit to the Raptors. Chi-Chi Nadeau had 11 points. Kate Jurwitz in her last game as a Lady Raptor had 8. But the physicality of Page, just too much.
Agreed. You were talking about how deep that Nolensville team is.
I mean, as a fan, I am desperately pulling for a Nolensville Page region final because I think that would be amazing. Teams split on the regular season. But before we get there, tonight, Monday night, by the time you watch this, we'll know the answer, and this will preview the championship game. You've got Page and Summit. They'll play the late game at 7:30. The early game is Nolensville and Franklin. Nolo and Page both swept these teams in the regular season, so we would expect that to happen. I think if there's going to be a tight game tonight, it would be the first one, Nolensville and Franklin. Cecily Brandamore has a big game. She's obviously, a problem to match up with. We'll see how that plays out. Page and Summit just played a week ago, and Page won 72-48. That's a lot to overcome. But I don't know if Ava Kroll comes out and knocks down 5 threes in the first half. I mean, you just never know.
It's a different story.
But we'll see.
Safe to say that Nyla Johnson matches up with Brandamore better than anybody.
From a physical standpoint, I mean, no one has the height.
Right.
But, if they can get the ball to her in the interior, she gets some easy buckets, I'm sure Coach Ladd will have a great game plan to try and neutralize her as much as possible. But Franklin was impressive on Friday afternoon. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I'm excited.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, no doubt.
Did you ever care when would you rather play that early one or?
I always wanted the early game.
You did?
Well, so first of all.
Come tournament time,
yeah,
I mean.
Yeah. The anxiety of just sitting around waiting all day. Now, it's not as bad when you're in school, but the boys' coaches, I think, just went through agony on Saturday, especially if you played the later game, because you're sitting around waiting all day.
All day.
And, it's why, typically in college, you see more upsets in the middle of the day because teams don't have to sit around the hotel and think about it all day. I mean, it's not always the case, but the anxiety gets to you after a while. But, being in school, a little bit more normal day, more of a routine, I think that'll probably, keep anything weird from happening. But we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, it's always fun to win the early game, and then you get to sit back and enjoy the second game.
I'm looking how we did here. We both missed on Brentwood.
We picked Brentwood over Summit.
Yes, sir.
Well, it happens. What about Franklin? I forgot who I picked.
You picked Indy.
Well, hey.
I picked Franklin.
But
you got me on the boys' side. I think we're going to end up. I think it ends up
even.
Yes.
Yeah, we can talk about that here in a second. We'll see. So, so back to these games. I mean, I got Nolensville and Page.
Yep.
Any deviation there?
No, sir.
Yeah, got it. All right, let's move on to the boys' side. 11 4A boys all-district team. Your player of the year, MVP, Davis Cochran. No surprise there. He's had a tremendous year following in his brother's footsteps. I wonder how many brother combos we've had that have been district MVPs. I can't think of one off the top of my head.
The Carters, maybe? Ty and John? But Grayson was there then?
I don't know. I don't know if Ty won it.
Yeah.
I think John did, or he's right there. When John Carter was a junior and senior, there was a lot of talent. I mean, they were good. Loaded. Not just on that team, but district-wide.
Right.
So a little bit tougher to win.
It was a good time to be a fan.
Oh, yeah. And that class in particular was really good. Coach of the year, Troy Crane, not Troy Bond, as I initially put in the – I just blanked out. Yeah, I messed up. Coach Crane called. He took it well. He joked around with me. That's something I won't live down for a while. But
it happens.
Coach Crane has done a tremendous job in just his second year at the helm. What a great job he has done. Also,
it's a great story too. And what's fun to watch about all that is he's the ultimate school guy.
Yeah,
he's there supporting football, baseball. When they have the faculty cookout with the
He's cooking burgers, man.
He's the one. He's manning the grill. He can fix anything.
He is a blue collar guy.
He is.
He will clean whatever.
But don't let him
needs to
fool
do.
you because he don't dress like one.
No.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
But it's been fun to watch the entire athletic department and really school rally around him. They're really happy for him. It's cool.
Yeah, he waited a long time to get this opportunity. He's making the most of it.
Right.
And they're going to be good not only the rest of this year, but several years down the road. A lot of talent over there. So, also on the first team, Sam Steppen from Ravenwood, Colin Robinson from Franklin, Hudson McKnight and Luke Mathews from Brentwood, and Chris Johnson from Nolensville. Moving on to District 12 4A, your most valuable player, Kobe Jackson from Independence, the little fella who just fills up the stat sheet.
Oh, Kobe.
Yeah, gets the MVP nod over there. And then your Coach of the Year, Jared Street, obviously very well deserved there. Page lost like 7 of their top 8 players from a year ago, graduated 7 seniors. They're all significant members of that team. And what do? They come back and win the district title this year. Pretty impressive. Coach Wilkins at Indy did a great job as well, obviously losing a lot of talent. First team, Sashi Oputa from Page, Ford DeShazo from Summit, Owen Looney from Page, Joel Covertson from Summit, and Harris Hall from Indy. Honorable mention. In fact, I left off some of the honorable mention from 11-4A, so let's go back really quick. Carter Ezel from Centennial, Rylan McKelvey from Nolensville, Cole Kaiser from Franklin, Brody Cooper from Nolensville, Jackson McCutcheon from Brentwood, and Carson Vaughn from Franklin. And then honorable mention for 12-4A, Blake Smith from Page, and Emerson Lanier from Independence. So, pretty prestigious group.
Congratulations, young man.
Again, lots of honors to go around. Now, the boys' quarterfinals were absolutely nuts. There was only one game that was somewhat insignificant, and that was Brentwood versus Columbia. Brentwood 68, Columbia 38. Again, Columbia comes out kind of early, makes a few plays. I'd not seen them all year, and I thought, man, they might be all right. But yeah, don't care. But then Brentwood just puts their foot on the gas. Minus Luke Mathews, who is out with an undisclosed injury for the time being, could return Tuesday night. We really don't know what the prognosis is going to be there. All-district player. It's kind of a big hit. But Davis Cochran scores 21. Hudson McKnight and Parker Emerson score 11. And Jackson McCutcheon scores 8. They had a lot. Purefoy steps in and kind of Mathews' absence and plays some really good minutes. But it was a beatdown. Columbia coach was frequently upset with the officiating and, in fact, called 3 timeouts to argue calls. You know I'm a big fan of that. Just going to burn a whole timeout to argue when you're down 30. So whatever.
You ever seen him change one?
No. Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen.
He just wanted to feel better? What are we doing?
I don't know. I think he needs a therapist. Anyway, all right. Franklin in the first game. Again, Franklin and Indy played on the girls' side. Indy swept the regular season series. Same thing on the boys. Indy had swept it, even though 2 relatively close games, a 5-point game and an overtime game. And just like the girls, Franklin comes out on top, 68-59. I told Joe Williams, who I was doing the radio broadcast with, I go, we're going to know in the first 4 minutes if Franklin has a chance to win this game, because Franklin the week before looked really bad.
Right.
I mean, Brentwood beat them pretty handily. Ravenwood hammers them on the last game of the season to slide them into the 3rd spot. Credit to Coach Tiger, man. He came out. The week off did them well, and they were ready to go. They utilized mismatches all over the floor, were able to score at a high clip. Carson Vaughn led the way with 18. Hayden McClarty, 13. All of Hayden McClarty's 13 points came in the second half. Ended up being the Hattie B's player of the game.
I like that.
Yeah. And then Colin Robinson had 13. Kobe Jackson had 15, including, I don't know if you saw it, it's on the OTL Instagram feed. He shot like an 85-footer at the end of the first quarter. Nothing but net. I mean, it didn't even hit the rim.
I did. It was great.
I mean, it was unreal. Daryl Davis with 14, and Harris Hall, the senior, his last game with Indy with 9. Uncharted territory for the Eagles this year. I think this is the first time since Coach Wilkins has been there that they haven't made it to the region final.
I agree.
I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure. I think they've been to 4 straight sectionals. So tough year for Indy, but to Coach Wilkins' credit, as we talked about earlier, he lost a lot of talent from a year ago. They were right there, and not just in district play, but every time they stepped on the floor, he gave them a chance to win. It was just one of those days for Indy.
That's right.
Yeah.
And, a team that we talked about it, again, that Franklin did not play well last week. But they're a team that's used to advancing. These kids are used to advancing in postseason. I think they kind of expect to. And so I thought that would pay dividends for them going into this game. I mean,
you just never know how teams are going to react.
That's right.
You have a bad week, the weather gets nice. Kids might be like, man, it might be fun to just kick it.
Time to get south.
Right. But to their credit, man, I mean, did I pick Indy in that one or did I pick Franklin?
You picked Indy.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't think Franklin had played well, and I didn't know really where they stood. But, man, what a great job by the coaching staff and the kids.
And not done yet.
No, not done yet. Ravenwood 50, this is where the night got pretty interesting. Ravenwood 50, Summit 45. In overtime, Sam Steppen was 17. For the Raptors, Brock Wismar was 7. Brock Wismar, perfect from the field, including opens up the OT frame with a big three from the corner. He's a 6'7" kid.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people think he's actually a really good shooter. Joel Coverson, 15, had 3 threes. And then Ford DeShazo, under the weather, probably not his best game, still managed to get 8. This game was a little crazy. Summit comes out and takes a 7-8 point lead in the first half. Ravenwood cuts it to 4 at halftime. I turned to Joe Williams like, man, Ravenwood should be feeling pretty good about only being down 4. Ravenwood opens the second half on a 9-0 run, takes a lead, puts that up to 7, and then Summit storms back. Summit had a lead late, and then Ravenwood, thanks to a Sam Steppen jumper, was able to tie it. It goes to overtime, and Ravenwood is able to take the game. So it was quite the thriller. Big win for the Raptors.
A couple of free throws late that if they make them right, it doesn't even go to OT.
Yeah, some missed free throws. It's a little bit of a struggle. I did talk with Coach Hooper after the game. He says, tell Tate we appreciate him picking the Spartans. Of course. So, I was like,
it's right here. It's documented.
I'll be sure to bring it up on the show, of course. So there we are. And then, in the game of the day, Page 62, Nolensville 61, Sashi Oputa 26 points, only a sophomore. Owen Looney 16. For the Knights, Brody Cooper 11, Chris Johnson 21. Back to Oputa. He was so jacked to play this game. Like, he made all kinds of plays, good and bad, in the first 3 minutes. Like, he was just all over the place.
He's amped up.
He runs like a deer, first of all.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
an athlete.
6'7", wingspan, but he was. I think he was a little too jacked up at the start of the game, and it was a back and forth game. A couple technicals on Nolensville, including one they had a 6-point lead with I think about 3 minutes to go. Player falling out of bounds, throws it off the kid, but throws it off his face. It was kind of after the whistle, and they gave him a technical foul. Now,
I can't tell if you're on board with this.
I'm not.
Okay.
And I understand why they called the technical. I also know the kid that did it. He's a good kid. He's not a malicious kid. He's a class kid. I thought the spot where you call that is really bad. And there were a lot of calls in this game that were not great on both sides. I don't think either coach is going to sit here and say the referees cost us a game or we won, whatever, because they're two class coaches. But they messed up some calls, some technical things too.
That's tough to swallow.
It's tough, but the game comes down to Nolensville gets an and one. There with about 30 seconds to go. Nolensville comes down, ends up getting the last shot, misses a runner in the lane. Sashi Oputa with the putback at the buzzer, like literally right there at the buzzer. And Page advances.
On their home court.
Yeah, the students stormed the floor. It was mayhem. One of the more exciting games I've seen. But, I mean, the last 3 minutes, you're like, Nolensville's got it. And then Page ends up just snatching it from him. I mean, it's brutal, man. Great careers, though. Brody Cooper, Chris Johnson, B.J. Hall, Rylan McKelvey, all seniors. And it just, as a coach, I know what Coach Goodice was going through that night and on Sunday and probably still today as he moves on. And you really feel for the players because neither team really deserved to lose. Heck of a game.
It's tough. Tournament basketball, man.
Yeah, but it was exciting.
And Nolensville is one of those teams. This could have happened. They could have been out earlier, but also don't be surprised if they don't win the whole thing.
Yeah, as a 4 seed, I thought they could win it.
Yeah.
Which you don't see very often. It was almost a clean sweep for 11 4A. Page, the only 12 4A team left on the girls boys side. I mean, pretty impressive. So,
by the way, we whiffed on that one too.
we did.
Yep.
Well, it happens. We both picked Nolensville.
Yeah. We didn't do
I
great
guess the
down
only
there.
one I picked was Brentwood and Ravenwood. So,
Correct.
City of Brentwood's been good to me. Anyway, all right. So that sets up the semifinals. The first game on Tuesday night, 6 o'clock over at Page High School, Brentwood and Franklin. I think this is intriguing.
I do too.
If Mathews plays, that obviously helps Brentwood. If he doesn't, it'll be interesting to see if that gives any kind of life to Franklin. Franklin has been blasted twice by Brentwood. When they played him at home, probably one of the more impressive second quarters I've seen out of a team anywhere. I mean, Brentwood, it was like 19-4 or something like that. And then the most recent game, Brentwood dominated kind of throughout. A little run in the third quarter for Franklin to kind of get it under 10, but really not competitive. I don't know. When you blow a team out twice and then you got to play them again in an elimination game, who knows?
Yeah, and I think that Franklin-Indy win, I think that Indy win's a really, really good win, man.
Well, yeah, because a lot of people were pointing like Indy could potentially beat Brentwood because they played them tight twice this year, and now they're not even playing them. Also, I think an interesting storyline, in this spot a year ago, Franklin, the dominant team, 2 wins over Centennial, gets bounced in the region semis. I know if I'm Coach Tiger, I'd be like, hey, it happened to us last year. Let's be that team.
Why not
and do
us?
It now.
That's right.
Yeah, for sure. So that could be an exciting one. And then another interesting game, Page and Ravenwood. These teams played early January, I believe January 9th, the first Friday after break when we all came back to school. Page won 56-44. Ravenwood led by 3 at the break. And then a very strong third quarter from Page was able to create some separation. And Page ends up winning some really interesting matchups there. Aputa versus Sam Steppen, I think is something to keep an eye on.
I do too.
But we'll see. So who you got, Brentwood, Franklin?
I'm with you. I think this is going to be one of the slugfest that these two have had throughout the years. I think Brentwood's just more talented.
Yeah.
So I go in with Brent, and when they're hitting, whew. So I'm going with Brentwood, but I'm with you. I think this isn't like the earlier ones.
It's a 1 to 2 possession.
This is a dogfight, but I'm going with the Bruins.
Yeah. All right. What about?
I'm assuming you are too.
Yeah, Bruins for sure. Page and Ravenwood.
I think this is tough, man. By the way, you're the district athletic director, so you're proud of all the teams. But, you do have a special place in your heart for Ravenwood and also Coach Hooper. I know you got to be really, really proud.
Yeah,
Coach
I
Hooper.
mean,
His kids and his staff, but still.
great kids.
He's your friend,
Yeah.
colleague.
Yeah.
I think he's done as much with this team as he could have done.
Oh, yeah.
agree?
I mean, they are, I think if you would have said at the beginning of the year, you're going to be in a region semifinal against Page for a chance to go to a sectional and play for a region championship, he would have cut that deal right there. And quite honestly, if I was in his position, I would have thrown money your way to have that. I don't think it's a great matchup for them.
It's not, but just like the Summit game, and you've been saying it, and you're right, like that game, more than any of them, if the game gets over, 50 was about the ceiling.
Right.
That thing gets over 50, Ravenwood's
In trouble.
in trouble. But also, I don't know that Ravenwood lets Oputo score 26 points. So
If Ravenwood, and I can say this because this is not airing till Wednesday, right? So I'm not giving away anything here. But if Ravenwood can contain the dribble within 16 feet,
right,
then they're going to be in good shape. But
if
it's a big if. Okay, Page does an unbelievable job with their guards. Owen Looney's kind of the ringleader of them, but they got several guys that can beat you off the dribble. They're a really good drive and kick team. They shoot it tremendous clip. And then Aput's out there, he hits threes, he's a rim protector, he gets live ball turnovers. If he can create some live ball turnovers, he's going to go down and flush it. I mean, that's going to be the key. Ravenwood will guard, but can they sustain that for 32 minutes? And this is one of those things, they might hold them to 20 in the first half, but what does that third and fourth quarter look like? And Ravenwood struggles to score. So I think that's going to be a big issue, especially when you got a rim protector back there. But I can't pick against Ravenwood.
I got Page.
Yeah, so there we go. This will be the deciding factor right there. So that will line up the
So
girls.
we got Brentwood. You got Ravenwood, and I got Page. Got it?
There we go. So action Monday night, girls semifinals. Tuesday night, boys semifinals. Wednesday night, 7 p.m., girls final. Thursday night, 7 p.m., boys final. It's going to be a great week of basketball. I would encourage you to get out to Page High School. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Is there? I'm sure it probably has something to do with the sectionals with the ladies. Is there not a way to? I know you can't play the boys again on Thursday because they just played Wednesday. But could we not back that thing to Friday and have both of them? Or is
the girls sectional is Saturday. Boys sectional is Monday.
I knew. Yeah.
Now the interesting fact, since Columbia has been eliminated, we will have 2 boys teams in a sectional, and we will have 2 girls teams in a sectional. One will host. Whoever wins the region hosts. The other one goes on the road, paired up against Rutherford County. And Blackman is the nemesis on both sides right there. Whichever team can avoid Blackman on the girls' side has a really, really good shot to advance. In fact, I think they both have a good shot.
Right.
I mean, Nolensville's played Blackman twice, and they've been one-possession games essentially, so they got a shot, whoever that is, Page or Nolensville, if that's who ends up there. And then the boys, Brentwood has already beat Blackman this year. And Stewart's Creek is one of the other boys teams that could kind of sneak in there, but I don't think they pose a great threat to any of the teams. So we will not have a show next week because of spring break. So we will miss the girls' state tournament because that will be next week. So we will wrap that up. We expect to have at least one team in the state tournament, so we'll be able to touch on that. And it'll lead into the boys' state tournament, which will be the week after spring break. Nice for the boys this year. Typically, spring break is the week of the boys' tournament. So could be good news for TWSAA at the gate if 2 Williamson County teams get there.
Real good news.
2 really good teams out of Memphis, Houston, and Bartlett. If they make it that far, would be pretty tough matchups for anybody in Williamson County. But we'll see how it plays out.
Bearden out of East Tennessee.
Bearden, really, really good too.
What's that guy's name?
I cannot remember.
He's a good coach.
Yeah, he's a fantastic coach. They do a great job. So we will rehash all that the week after spring break, talk about the region champions, how the sectionals played out, and perhaps a boys state tournament preview. And we will also get into a little bit of spring sports when we get back. So you got big plans for spring break?
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
going somewhere warm.
Well, that's good for you. I will be taking my daughter to visit some colleges and perhaps heading out to the SEC tournament and probably Murfreesboro for a little bit here and there.
Well, I mean, SEC tournament.
Yeah,
that's your world. That's where you're.
This will be like the 15th time I've been.
Yeah, right.
So it's kind of a family tradition. So me and Doc Whitlock going to make it out there.
Without a doubt.
My mom's going to go. It's a family affair. Maybe have dinner at the Palm one night.
Just walk right over.
Only if they pay. All right. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for this week's Sports Connection, and we will see you after spring break.